guarantee you from the bottom of my heart that that is not true. That the answers can only be in one place, and that's where? Inside. Remember how I got into this, by the way. I started off having owned 17 businesses, and several of them doing extremely well. In fact, most of you know that I opened one of the first retail fitness stores in North America. I borrowed $2,000 on a credit card in order to do that, and was able to open 10 stores in 2.5 years, and sold half of my shares to the H.A. Heinz company for $1.6 million. And so I went down to San Diego and I started teaching business, pretty hardcore street smart business. And the interesting thing was that in teaching these tools to people, what I noticed was that some people would flourish with them. But a person sitting right beside that person in a similar type of business wouldn't do anything and wouldn't flourish. You know, they'd be stuck in the same place they always were. And I got to be right up front with you. The reason that I changed over, listen, this is a kind of a cute story, because what had happened was I had a close friend who was working with Entrepreneur Magazine. And they were just coming out with their Be Your Own Boss tape series that was being sold by Guthrie Renker on television as an infomercial. Do y'all remember this at all? It was a Be Your Own Boss type of thing. And this friend of mine who works with Guthrie Renker called me up, and he felt that our material that we were teaching was, I'll just say was very good also. And so he wanted me to put together this infomercial and sell our tapes and things. And what he said to me is that you need a ton of testimonials. You need people with hardcore results to get on television and be able to speak what happened for them. And so we started doing surveys of our people, and that's when we started finding out that some would be doing great and some wouldn't be doing great. And we started to recognize what the problem was. And the problem was, and we noticed, is that you can have the best tools in the world, but if you got a little leak in the toolbox, you know, there's a couple of issues there, isn't there? Hello? And so we started, for our own purposes of trying to get people more successful so that we could get on television quicker, we started realizing we had to work on the inner game of their success. And that's what we did, and that's when things started to really skyrocket for them and for us. Does that make sense at all? So I can tell you, again, don't believe a word I say. I can only come from my experience, but I can tell you, having taught business for 9 years, taught maybe 20, 30,000 people, I have a strong suspicion of what works in the business world. And what works in the business world is the same as what works in every other facet of your life. And it all stems from here. I have met very few business people who are successful and remain